doing a baby update. So today was a little different because usually Dan has been going with me to almost every appointment. But due to childcare restrictions and timing, Dan didn't go today, and we had a growth ultrasound. So I wanted to tell him what I learned in front of the camera, because if you guys are following along anyway, then you get his real response.
Yay!
Are you nervous?
Yes. What's going on?
Okay. This is weird. We don't usually do like stage things like this, so am I just dragging it out tonight?
Yes.
Okay. So I am 31 weeks now, and to update you, the last time we had a growth ultrasound, they actually got a really clear view of the palate, but we did not have a consult that day, so I was not, when they saw the palate, it looked what they called it textbook today. So the hard palate, you could see everything looks good, but because we didn't have a consult with the doctor, I wasn't sure if that meant that the soft palate was also okay, or if they just can't see the soft palate, or really what the implications are. And as we established last time Dan was here, my tendency is to hang on to worry a little tighter, until I get more confirmation for things. So that was one thing we looked for today. We also looked for the profile, because the last 2 growth ultrasounds, the baby keeps hiding their face. Hard to tell what a profile looks like if you've got a knee in the way. So those are the 2 main things that we have been tracking as far as Puro band sequence, to see just if that's what we're looking at with this baby. So I did schedule a consult today, and so we met with the doctor, and he was going over everything with me, and he was like, so we looked at, because we got a really, really good angle for the palate, a very clear picture of the palate. And what they're saying is, at this time, they think there is absolutely nothing wrong with the whole palate.
That's great.
I know. I'm like laughing and crying because I haven't said it out loud yet, but like, I think it's okay.
It's wonderful, honey.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's good.
Yes, it's good.
Yeah. Sorry, I knew you needed to get the tissue.
I didn't think it was for me, but maybe it was.
I don't know. Yeah, I think it's okay.
That's great.
And they saw the chin, she's still kind of tucked down. But what they said is they think it is closer to a Mabel than a Mabel.
That's wonderful, honey. That's great.
Yeah. So, yay.
Yeah.
Other things. So, so I think it's okay. And I'm trying to process and get all the information in, and trying to push a little bit, like, okay, so like.
Not yet, honey.
Thanks. I mean, press the doctor for more clarification. With the dad jokes, man. And just like, okay, what are like, what are the chances that this looks okay, but something could still go wrong, or and so what he was talking about is that I have and I hope I don't say this wrong, I have a single blood vessel in the umbilical cord right now to the baby, and with that is increased risk of some sort of abnormality, potentially something that they don't see on the ultrasounds.
What kind? Like what?
Oh my God, I don't want to say it wrong.
Oh, okay.
Like a septum that's a little off, or maybe like a weird uvula. I don't know. I feel like I'm messing this up.
Okay.
But what he was saying is that like some of those would require no monitoring, or some of those they may realize as an adult, oh hey, this thing is a little funky, but isn't necessarily like a horrible thing. But until the baby is physically out, you're not going to know that for sure. But what they're saying is for the PRS, the concerns we had with previous children, he does not think that that is what we are looking at right now. Fluid levels are good. She's still really large, like 90th percentile. Big baby. Another thing he said is that, it's not an exclusive thing, but like a guideline is like, Ava was very, very small. And he did say that people that have, or babies that have some kind of syndrome or other issues do tend to be on the smaller side. So the fact that this baby is a beast, which maybe I shouldn't say on film. I mean, so she is a good size. How's that? A little chunky monkey. Which is good. It also indicates like she's eating good. We were able to see her lungs working, so she is practicing breathing in there.
Right on schedule.
Right on schedule. She is back to being breech, but I know, but what they said is like we just keep an eye on it and until like 36, 37 weeks. And he's like, most of the babies will right themselves. There's about a 5% like stubborn babies that are like, this is where I'm gonna stay. So we are still going to be doing one more growth ultrasound, but we don't have to go to the high risk place for that growth ultrasound. And then just watching other normal things.
That's great.
So yeah. He was like looking at me because I'm like, I was still like processing, like it's gonna take some time for this to sink in. And I do think just how I work, like I have to be like still a little cautious in how I emotionally handle things, meaning like, and he goes, were you like that with your second? I was like, yeah, I had them check for the cleft like 4 times when she came out, and she was fine. And he just kind of laughed a little bit. I was like, okay, like, so I call it cautiously optimistic. But as you've seen, this is a very roller coastery kind of experience, and like because we have gone through it with Ava, it is, my tendency is to believe the worst versus like the best, because you know how bad it could be. And like you were saying, like there could be other complications or whatever at birth, but this is a lot of good news at once, and I'm very overwhelmed, obviously, by the really crazy laughing, crying at the same time. You were tearing up. You talk now.
Well, so Jenna texts me when she's done with this appointment and says, we need to talk, and doesn't say anything else. And I'm just waiting until she gets home. And then she's like, set the camera up. We're going to film this. And I'm like, what are you doing to me? I don't know what you're going to say. Is this good news or is this bad news? And cool customer the whole time she's at home. Didn't say a word, didn't intimate.
I couldn't look at him directly. I didn't want to like...
give it away.
Well, give it away. And I don't know that I would have necessarily done this if it was bad news or like wait and see. But like I said, Dan's come with me to almost every appointment. And like he has been with me for every pregnancy test. Like we haven't had a lot of opportunities like this to share news in like real time. And so I was like, you know, if I could get his response, like that would be fun to watch back.
Well, it's wonderful news. I'm very excited.
I still don't I don't know what to say. You talk.
Like we're
You're still processing too.
Right.
See, it's
I'm
hard.
like, does that mean we can just focus on nesting and not making backup and emergency plans?
I feel like I'm probably still going to want to pack. I call it a cleft kit, which is just the Dr. Brown specialty bottles in a bag, in a mesh bag. Better to have it and not need it. Here, you talk more. You just got the news.
I know. Gosh, you're pretty.
Okay. Is that if that's all you want to say, we should wrap it up.
Okay. I'm having a hard time like wrapping my head around, is it true?
Right.
Yeah? Because we've been going this whole time like something's wrong.
Something's wrong. Something's wrong.
And I mean, at first they were like, oh, there's this problem with the heart. Oh, just kidding. No problem with the heart. Okay, there might be a problem with the palate. Oh, well, the hard palate's fine, but we couldn't get a really good look at the soft palate.
Well, to be fair, they didn't say that. They said the hard palate looks good, but we didn't have the opportunity to meet with the doctor to ask more about the soft palate, and the ultrasound techs in general are not supposed to say too much medically.
We looked at the picture.
What?
We looked at the picture, and the hard palate that we could see, it was solid.
Yes. So they could say that, but like as far as like, I don't think they are allowed to say anything more than that, is what I'm saying. And so it wasn't that they were like, we don't know about the other thing.
As techs talk, you know.
Oh, come on. That's not... I always do funny voices, and you're like, they don't talk like that. Okay, anyway. No, they didn't say there wasn't a problem or like they didn't know. We just didn't have the opportunity to ask and solidify like what it meant. We did get a chance to review the doctor's notes from the last ultrasound, and they were saying like no abnormality in the palate, and we were both like,
what does that mean?
Don't mess with us like that. What do you mean? Like just the hard palate or everything? This seems unfair. Yeah, but it's hard to like let down the...
Well, and I've
had 30 seconds or 10 minutes.
Now I can pick something else to worry about. I've got a menu, you know.
I don't think that's what you're supposed to do.
Right? No, that's my job as a dad. That's part of my job anyway.
Okay.
It's to worry.
Oh, thanks, I think. As long as you're still sleeping at night, I guess.
When I can.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's all for today. Hope that was fun for a real-time update. Yeah. We will... I'm hoping that I'll have one more update before baby comes. But it always kind of depends on time and what news to share, and like, again, like until baby comes out, like you don't have any like for sure this is what you're looking at. But like it's just incredibly good news and positive and like
exactly. Big deep breath. Try to sit into it.
and wrap my brain around it. It doesn't feel real.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's good, real.
It's good. You stop it. You're tearing up and you're going to make me tear up again. All right. Well, until next time, good to see you guys. Bye.
Bye.